Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. This is Uncle P from Super Easy Forex, and I got a lot of information for you guys today. Make sure you listen all the way to the end because I really believe we are literally on the brink of World War III. I'm going to be covering some special news at the end, so make sure you stay into the end of the video. But let's stay on the positive side for now. If this is your first time to Super Easy Forex, welcome, welcome, welcome. I do these videos on Sundays to try to go over what we've done in our signal service, but also to give you news events so that while you're trading during the week, you'll be able to have an idea of what to look for right before you place trades. Because I don't know about you, but many times I have placed trades and then moments later, the market just spikes, knocks out the stop loss, and you'll be like, what the freaking heck, bro? What happened? So what that calls me to start looking at news events prior to taking trades, which is called fundamental trading, looking at news events to see if anything of significance is coming out right before I place a trade on a particular trading pair, or if it's a big enough event, maybe I should just hold off on trading altogether until after the market calms down. So I'm going to give you some news events, and I'm going to go over this important clip about what I'm seeing happening that's really not being talked about in the mainstream media. I don't know why, but this is not good, you guys. It really isn't good. But let's get started for time's sake. Okay, so first of all, if you ever want to follow our signal service and you want to know how well we're doing, you can now track that. I actually added a link to our website, and I'll say this real quickly. You just go to superezforex.com, and then right here, you just click right here to join the signal service. It'll bring you to this page right here, which has got good information for you to see what's going on and all that kind of stuff. But you can also click right here, and once you click right there, it's going to open it up to a spreadsheet. And now the spreadsheet is there, and you can track our weekly progress to see. As I told you guys, the first month of the year is going to sometimes be the hardest because especially it depends on who's in charge of the nation, because it was very chaotic, it was no good at all. We still had a positive month, but nevertheless, as you can see, the market is starting to get its balance. And so roughly, I would say, on average, we're doing about 12 and 2, 12 and 3. So 12 and 2, 12 and 2. We had 1 week where the news was a little rough, but we still squeaked out 8 wins and 3 losses. And then the live trading sessions, they did 8,800 pips that week. But overall for the month, we did 44 wins, 11 losses, which puts us at about 33 winning trades for the month. Okay, 33 winning trades, and that's on the signal side. But then in Miss Jenny's group, as you can see, they did over 32,649 pips, and that's because they trade primarily the indices, which a lot of you guys want to do, which is the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the Dow, or the US 30 and stuff like that, and some cryptos and sometimes whatever, that's their Jenny's thing over there, but they're killing it like usual. You can see 47,000, basically just roughly to 48,000 pips last month, and then 32,000 this month. So basically that is monster, and it's all done live, so you're able to join and be there live in these sessions. It's twice a week, and you'll be able to be there live, okay? And that's in addition to the signal. So clearly we had a much better month in February, and we're planning on rocking and rolling and keeping this going. So again, you can always track at the end of the week exactly what we're doing. You don't have to ask or email us. You can just go right to our website and do that. Okay, now let's get to the economic news. Here's the deal. I'll slide this over. Me personally, I like using my FX book. You can use whatever one you desire. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of different ones out there. I just been using this one, and I actually don't like the desktop version of this. I just do this for you guys, but I like the mobile version a lot better. For whatever reason, I don't know. It's nothing special. It's just the way I see things. But anyway, so this is where you go. You want to click on Economic Calendar. If you're on my FX book, okay, go here to Economic Calendar. And once you're here, this is why I do like my FX book from others, because you can see the news that's coming up for just today or tomorrow. And if this pops up, just click out of it. If you can see the news that's coming up for today, you can see the news that's coming up for tomorrow, or, and this is me, I love using these two. I can see the news that's coming up for the entire week this week, so I can plan my week ahead. Not just a day, but the entire week. And I can put the things that I find unique on a map or for myself or on a spreadsheet. So right before I place a trade, I kind of know, okay, don't touch this because it has these news events coming up. And the euro, as you're going to see, the euro this week is going to be packed full of news. It's the most dominant pair outside of the U.S. that's going to have a lot of news coming out this week. So I'm going to go over that and make sure, again, wait till the very end because I'm going to show you proof that I really believe we're on the brink of World War III now. It's almost inevitable, okay? So anyway, let's go through it. I'm not going to go through this long laundry list of news, but as you can see, as I'm scrolling down, that a lot of red is coming out. A lot of red. Swiss is coming out with news and stuff like that. But that's just retail numbers, blah, 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 blah. But it's the euro. Look at all that red right there. You see that? The euro. And the reason why is because they have what's called and this is just my opinion, you can do your own research. They have what's called the Eurozone, which encompasses a lot of different small sectors of countries, nestled within one basket. Kind of like here, we call it the United States of America, but you have like 50 different states within that United States. So you have all these different individuals. You have Hawaii, you got Texas, you got California, you got Florida, but collectively together, it makes up what we call the United States of America. So in the Eurozone, they have different countries that's kind of a little here, a little there, but then we bunch it together and we call it the Euro zone. So sometimes you'll see duplicate information, be like, why are they repeating this twice? Because one of the other zones may be making their announcement about the same news announcement that another one did. Okay. So therefore they get lots and lots of news. Just to be upfront with you guys, if you ever want to get into learning fundamentals, the biggest thing to know is that especially when you're trading pairs and you say, okay, which ones are the pairs that get the most news, the ones I need to pay the most attention to, it will be the euro and the USD. Okay. This is part of the reason why some of my favorite currencies to trade is the AUD, the NZD, you get what I'm saying, and the GBP. GBP, in my opinion, is the third one that gets the most news, but it's not as much used as the US or the euro. Okay. And me as a trader who like to trade very safely, I like to trade the pairs that stays the furthest away from news events. Does that make sense? Because those are the ones where if you jump into a trade and you're not careful and you didn't do your due diligence, you'll jump in because you're doing technical analysis. You're looking at your charts. Everything looks real sexy, but then boom, you'll get hit because of a news event and you're constantly getting your stops taken out, especially if you're not taught the timing of when to trade. Okay. What I found in this business is that most traders have poor timing and they hop in when they should just be waiting. And this is why if you're part of Super Easy, I spend so much time teaching you, my students, about just hold off, wait a couple of hours until this time. And I try to give you guys a specific window to start looking at the charts, which means it gives you time away from the charts. Cause even if I see the perfect setup, it may not be perfect by the time the Eurozone or the USD news get done hacking it up, which is why so many retail traders are losing. Okay. So you want to know the specific windows of time to start looking at those pairs, regardless of the technical analysis, regardless of your support and resistance or supply and demand zone. See this perfect setup and this and that, and you constantly getting your stuff blown up. And you don't know why. Well, because you have to understand the rhythm of the market. It has a rhythm and a rhyme, which is what I teach to the students. It has a rhythm and a rhyme. You got to pay attention to timing, not just your charts. For me, I can see the perfect setup, but I don't care. I don't care about it at all. Until this time, this block of time, I don't care about the perfect setup because I know chances are it's not going to be perfect when the Eurozone or the USD get done hacking it up because of all these different news events that cause it to spike. It may not be pretty afterwards. So I'd rather wait until this specific time when these news events are over. And if it still looks pretty, then I will take an opportunity at that trade. Other than that, what was the point? Okay, let's move on. So now I'm going to go to my little cheat sheet and you guys can kind of see for yourself exactly how I use it. Okay. How I use it is this. The news events as they're coming out, I will just make, and this is really simple, only took minutes to do. I put a little spreadsheet together with 3 categories: currency pair, or the currency, which pair is it that's getting the news, what is the news event, and what day of the week. It was just that simple. You don't have to be overly detailed. You don't have to be overly complicated. Keep it very simple so that at a glance you can just look at it real quick and boom. So I know on Monday, the only thing I'm worried about on Monday is the USD is coming out with durable goods. Now, that's more of an inflection or a point that will typically focus more on hitting stocks rather than the currencies. But lately, a lot of news, because the market is so jittery, a lot of news events that I normally would not pay attention to, I'm starting to pay attention to them just to be on the safe side, okay? So, durable goods on Monday. On Tuesday, we have inflation numbers coming out in euro. Wednesday, we have unemployment numbers coming out. And you can screenshot this right here, so you'll have a screenshot of what I've got on mine. And again, do your own due diligence. But manufacturing numbers on Wednesday, look at Wednesday. Look at all this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big news. Wednesday. Euro. See, all euro. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 news events, days due to euro. See, remember I told you about inflation? Look at this. Inflation, inflation, inflation. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. This is what I meant. You can get the same situation, but it's concerning different other sectors. But the problem is those sectors are bunched together in the euro currency. So they don't have a fraction of the euro currency where you can say, okay, I'm only going to trade this section of the euro. No, it's all bundled under the euro. So now you're getting hit with double duty or triple duty news events on the same exact currency pair. So for an example, look at this. Inflation, then you have it again you have inflation on Tuesday, then you have it on Wednesday, then on Thursday you have it again. Look at this. Manufacturing, you have it on Wednesday, and then you have it on Wednesday later on again. So from Tuesday to Thursday, the biggest ones that I'm looking for that's concerning is going to be as far as the, this is not double, manufacturing is double, is not for the euro, just because this one is for the USD. Sorry about that. But the point is that you still get the point. Inflation, inflation, inflation. Sometimes it'll be tripled on the same exact currency pair. Just be careful. That's the whole point. Okay. So now on Wednesday, we do have manufacturing numbers. Again, this is typically not that big of a deal for currency pairs. Just like the durable goods. But as I said before, and I'll say again, lately I have been seeing news events that typically doesn't mean hardly squat become significant. So I'm really paying attention to news events and just trying to stay out of the way of all this stuff, right? Next, we have Thursday, we have the jobless claims numbers. Now, here was one of those that was very interesting. Last week, the jobless claim numbers came out, and it came out very, very positive for the U.S. Now, normally it doesn't make a big difference. NFP is the one you want to look out for definitely when you're trading in the currency markets. So on NFP, which represents non-farm payroll, that one came out last week. That didn't even come out. Jobless numbers came out, and the numbers came out so good until the market just spiked all over the place. Unbelievable. It normally never does that. But here's what it represented, and this is just my humble opinion, I could be wrong, but what it represented is telling the feds, hey, the jobs are getting strong, go ahead and continue to increase in the interest rates. See, all this stuff is leading to interest rate data telling the governments whether to raise interest rates to fight off inflation or not. Is it cool? Is things getting better? And the more people go to work, the more they're going to continue to say, okay, we're strong enough, they can go ahead and handle paying more interest rates. That's what it basically means. Y'all can pay more interest, so we're going to jack it up some more. That's what it basically means. That's cold-blooded, ain't it? The harder you work, the more they feel comfortable jacking it up. But it is what it is. So in my opinion, and I'll move on to the next stage of this video, which is going into World War III information. But let me say this to you. Students, I have told you, I'm sick of these political people and these people who's just so headstrong about their political business. I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm a this, I'm a that. Sit your silly self down somewhere. Can you not see what's going on? I don't care which side you're trying to claim. The problem is, at the end of the day, think about this. Inflation is what's causing prices to rise. In order to fight inflation, they're raising interest rates. Who do you think is paying for all this? You are public servants called the senators and the House of Representatives. No, your tax money pays their bill. So they're not paying for this. You are. So no matter which way you go, you're getting slapped on one cheek and slapped on the other. Inflation is slapping you because your rent just went up, your grocery bills went up, your gas went up, everything about your life has gone up. Everything you shop for has gone up. Your groceries has gone up by hundreds of dollars a month now. Guess what? Everything is going up. But in order to fight that, we're going to raise interest rates, which means that your businesses and businesses that you do business with, such as your landlords and everybody else, your grocery stores and everything, guess what? In order for them to lower inflation, they're going to raise the interest rates. Well, what do you think these businesses are going to do? Keep raising the prices over here, because the higher they get loans to run their businesses, right? Landlords get loans from the bank to buy these properties. So the higher the interest rates go, they're just going to keep raising up your price over here because you got to pay it. So no matter which way you're looking at it, you're paying the cost for all this. And meanwhile, you out there just cheering for your politicians. And they're trying to keep their job. Meanwhile, you're about to lose yours, and your job ain't paying you enough. You got to be focused, you guys. Focus. Stop being so politically minded and so silly about all these things that don't matter until you're not seeing what's right in front of you. Inflation goes up, you pay higher prices. Interest rates go up, you pay higher prices. A lot of you guys are living off your credit cards. Guess what? Interest rates are going up on credit cards. Guess who's paying that? You are. So you're getting slapped on both sides no matter which way. You're not in a win-win situation. So don't buy this bull crap. Oh, well, we're fighting inflation by raising interest rates. Well, who's getting hurt? The people in the middle, not the rich. Come on, man. And don't be mad at rich people. You know why? Because they're smart enough to see through the smoke screens of what's being said on TV, and they make their entrepreneurial moves to avoid this foolishness. And then the people in the middle who's so motivated about their politics and what they hear on the news, and they're not thinking properly, they're thinking like sheep, they get mad at the people who's not thinking like them. Oh, these rich people, they constantly... No, they're just smart. They see what's going on, and they make moves to avoid it. Regardless of who their political friends are. They may even make donations to these politicians, but they're still smart enough to make their own individual moves because they know this is a sham and a scam. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So don't envy or hate entrepreneurs, aka rich people. Do what they do. Stop buying into what you're hearing from your politicians and begin to put the dots together for yourself, and then make moves accordingly so you can take care of your family instead of depending on these lying people who will say whatever needs to be said to get your vote so that they can keep their paid job through your tax money. Meanwhile, you out there struggling to make ends meet. But let me move on. Last but not least, cha-ching, cha-ching. Move on, Uncle P. They don't like you for that one, brother. I told the truth. Shut up. They ain't gonna like you. All right, let's move on. All right, here's the last one. Here. This is not good. This is not good. I've been warning students, if you're watching this video, I've been warning you guys that I told you guys, I am trying to stay far away from news because there's so much bad stuff happening and more is coming and people don't even see it, right? So here's the deal. Take a look at this. How 8 countries are preparing for war with Russia. 8 more. So that means you already have Ukraine getting attacked by Russia, and now 8 more is preparing. That means 9 countries are involved. Now, you already have our president who went over, if you're in the U.S., Joe Biden went over to Ukraine to show a force of solidarity that we're going to continue to support you, which in my opinion, I think they're doing that to make sure, hey, it's better to support somebody else having this war rather than have this war on our doorsteps. So by postponing this madman over there who's attacking countries that don't belong to him because he just woke up one morning and said, I think this is mine, like a little toddler. You know how toddlers, and when you have 2 little kids playing together and all of a sudden one of them just snatched the toy out of the hand of the other one because they just think, oh, suddenly in their head, they just thought it belongs to me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And thousands of people are dying or being misplaced because of one sick man's thinking, oh, I just woke up and just thought it belongs to me. No, it don't belong to you. So now all of a sudden, oh, now I got to protect myself. From what? You the one causing them? That's the bully looking for insurance protection. You're the bully. Why don't you just leave people alone? So anyway, the point is that this is now truly being escalated. And I told you students the other day and last week in class how I've also heard that Belarus, which is supposed to be partnering with Russia, Russia may be trying to take over them as well. And if that's the case, now we got 10 countries involved. How many more countries do we need to have a discussion about? Now, you have the UK and the US who's financially supporting Ukraine. So technically, we're already involved either way it goes, because guess what? You and I are paying for this too. Our tax money is going over there to support the war. Do you get what I'm saying? So now, with these 8 countries, you add in Ukraine, which will make it 9. If they take over Belarus, that'll make it 10. Then you got the UK and the US, which is also involved with financially. So that's 8, 9, 10. So that's about 12 so far. And then you have the other smaller countries who's also trying to financially support the Ukraine. So we already have it going on. That's the point. We already have it going on. It's just how bad will it get? And I think it's going to get really, really bad. If God doesn't get this sick man dead or something, I don't know. And I ain't trying to get banned, so I ain't calling for his doom. That ain't my point. My point is that if something does not quickly happen to remove this madman, then this is not looking to get better. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And that means food shortages. That means supply and demand zone. Supply chain issues are going to get worse. I told you guys, start taking a look at your Walmart grocery store. I don't shop at Walmart. Well, that's okay. You don't have to love Walmart, but that's an indicator. Since you like trading in the markets, you look for indicators. That is a strong indicator. Go to your local Walmart and just start walking through there and start looking at how many of these shelves are empty and not being refilled with goods and services that the average U.S. citizen needs. This is an indication that things are going wrong. Okay. I just heard this morning that some food factories here in the U.S. and other places are getting cyber hacked. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's not looking good, people. It is not looking good. So this is the time to be praying and using wisdom and thinking like an entrepreneur. One of the things that entrepreneurs do is shore up their goods and services. They protect themselves. They don't worry about trying to buy the next pair of Jordans or the red bottoms or the Gucci bags and this and that. The things that the average person is trying to buy to make themselves look expensive, which they can't really afford. The others are wise enough to start investing into things that will, okay, if things get bad, what will people need to buy? And they start putting their money in those kind of stocks and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Because those prices are going to go up and they're going to make money because during these tough times, that's what people need. So you see how the entrepreneurial rich people think differently? They're preparing for what they know is a problem, while the average person is out there just trying to show off and pretend like they got money that they can't even afford to spend. Instead of paying their rent, they're trying to go after the Gucci bag, or they're trying to go after the Louis Vuitton bag, as if that bag is going to make you be somebody or not. Truth be told, when I see a Gucci bag or a Louis Vuitton bag, I can't tell whether you got it from the local flea market, which makes duplicates that look exactly the same. I can't tell whether it's from the flea market or whether it's from the genuine store. And by the way, who actually cares other than yourself? You get what I'm saying? It would be better for you to spend $25 and get it from the flea market. It looks exactly the same. And you got to open the bag and say, see, look at the tag on the inside. Who literally is going to look on the inside of your bag to try to prove that it's actually worth $2,000 when you could have got it for $25 at the flea market? Come on now. Instead of spending that $2,000 on the bag, get the one for $25, $50 max at the flea market, right? Okay. And then with the other, because you're going to spend $2,000 on that bag, here's what you do with the remaining amount, okay? That $1,950, start paying some bills off. Start buying canned goods. Start buying rice, okay? Because if there's a food shortage, guess what? You don't have to be the fool who spent all your money on a Gucci bag. Are you going to eat that Gucci bag? Are you gonna eat that Louis bag? No. But you can eat up some beans, some rice, some cup of noodles, some top ramen, all them dry goods. You see what I'm saying? Bags of black eyed peas and rice are only $1 or $2 a bag right now. Watch what happens if it goes to World War III. You hear what I'm saying? Use wisdom. Use wisdom. It's not the time for this foolishness right now. It is time to protect yourself and your family because things are going to get worse. If you in order for you to have not seen this, you have either believed in your politicians or you have your head buried in the sand. But I'm here to tell the truth because I am worried about what's going on, and especially from the people who watch my video and hear my voice. I don't want you to be stupid sheep. I want you to be informed so that you'll know exactly what's going on for real. Okay? And you can take care of your family. Are you hearing what I'm saying? People who don't like you, they're still not going to like you even if you get the Gucci bag. Okay? So buying stuff to impress people is a waste of money and time. But I bet you any money when everybody else who was out there trying to do the sheep stupid thing and you sitting back with your beans and rice and your cornbread, during times of food shortage, and you kicking back with a full belly and everybody else out there starving, you're going to realize, oh my God, thank you, Uncle P, for the wisdom. Me and my kids are eating good because we prepared when things appear to be good. We prepared and we stocked up on the goods and the services and the gallons of water, bottled waters and things like that. We got things together. I paid off instead of buying that Gucci bag, I started paying down my bills so my debt was lower. So that if we do enter into a crisis situation, I don't have all this debt and then jobs end up being lost. Even if I lose my job, it's not going to impact me so much because guess what? I don't have so much debt. I wasn't spending money on trying to look good. I was spending money on paying down my debt so that if anything happens, I can go work at McDonald's and still afford to pay what I need to pay because I handled my business before the storm came. Amen, somebody? All right. This video has been long. I'm going to cut it here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Have a good day, and I'll see you students on Wednesday for class.